Hey, I'm sure there's a lot to be
Browns
talked
Union.
about.
I want to know if we're going to talk about that sneaker wall.
No, don't give him any juice.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about
that. Look at that thing. That's something else right there.
It's a whole lot of regret back there, man. It's a whole lot of regret back there because
you guys are live and streaming. So
got it. Yep.
I would start the girls on the screen to get people to watch.
Hey,
there's girls, right? There's going to be girls on this. Is this the wrong one? Am I the wrong podcast?
Yeah, it might be. That's probably what you and Corey are going to go do right now.
Quite possibly. Have fun.
Jump on the good one.
There's way too many gray hairs on here for chicks. You see what I'm saying? We're looking for hens out here. We got hens.
Yeah.
We grown women out here. You know what I'm saying? We're not in a trap. We ain't out here trying to fish for nothing right now.
Yo, we got 3/4 of the original Punjabis on here.
Wow, tres cuatros.
2, 3. Rudy, what's happening, brother? Welcome back. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, it's good to be back. It's been a long time. Thank you very much.
Smiles on his face. Look at his smile, the cheekbones. You look at the inherent cheekbones and smiles and pearly whites. Man, look, he's living good.
This is the first time I've been on YouTube. So like now y'all got me like wondering how my makeup is and everything. Like I got not just sound
like you probably have a couple people in there that could do some makeup for you. Us, on the other hand, well, homie does, but me, nah, I ain't got no one to do no makeup. I had to actually jump in the shower real quick, trim up the old beard a little bit. So
how does he have somebody that could do makeup for him?
He's got like 10 associates in there with him.
Grown dudes.
There maybe there's a female on the department.
They have the Ulta counter. Yeah, no, that ain't gonna work. He knows good well. He's playing it off like
the sweat.
Yeah, no, It's real man life saving stuff going on around there. Don't disrespect this man. Don't disrespect this man.
Rudy.
Dr. Rudy Fauci back in the house.
That's right.
Good to be back.
Hey, because we missed you the last couple of weeks. We need to get into some of that NFL because, you're the like homie always says, the state of the union of the Browns, the real talk from the real insider is what we needed the last couple of weeks with all these damn craziness scenarios going on at the quarterback position. So, I know you probably have to jump off here soon. You never know when you get it called out to action to save the world. So, homie, what do you think? We just give him the floor, or you got something to lean into real quick?
Dude, I need this in my life. I mean, I need to know about Baker. I need to know about Amari Cooper. I need to know about opinions, bro. I need to know about opinions off Lake Erie, bro. I need to know about these things. It's important.
And Jarvis Landry and OBJ reuniting back in the hood.
It's important to me.
Hey, I don't know. I'd like to hear it too, Rudy. Go for it. If you're ready,
right,
let's hear some stuff that's off your chest. Real quick, you always give us it on text because you're always working. So now you got the floor. So let's hear it.
All right. So you might have to keep me on track a little bit here because you just threw a lot at me, right? So let's start with the quarterback position. Obviously, it's disappointing for Baker Mayfield fans that he's not going to be continuing along as our quarterback in the future, although there's a little bit of discussion right now as to exactly when he's going to get traded and if he's going to be on the roster come the beginning of the season. There's also all of the drama obviously going around with Deshaun Watson, which I'll give you my personal opinion on. And then we'll talk about the other stuff, and I'll try to be as kind of quick as I can. But
take your time.
I am disappointed that Baker Mayfield didn't work out, to be real honest. You guys know over the past couple of years that I've been on this podcast, I've definitely been a Baker Mayfield fan. He's brought us to places as the quarterback that we've really never been before. That doesn't make him a great quarterback because he took us to the playoffs. It just means that he's a guy that took us to the playoffs that we haven't been. since 2003 or whatever year that was, that I remember working at the MGM when that happened a long time ago. But it's disappointing because I pulled for the guy and I wanted him to do well. And we didn't really talk. I didn't get on the podcast much to talk about the difference in play calling that I noticed, that Stefanski wasn't calling the same type of plays last year as he was the year before. And I was going to go off on this whole thing about how, that showed how injured he truly was. He wasn't rolling
Definitely
left.
injured.
Right. And rolling left was one of his things, right? Like, the play action to Nick Chubb, he rolls left, rolling left, throwing left. He just outright couldn't do it. So he was handcuffed by his injuries. Stefanski was handcuffed by his injuries regarding play calling.
Ability to play call. Right.
Yeah, I was going to go off on that whole thing and talk about it all year long. But obviously, things in my world got crazy and I haven't been on this podcast much. But I'm disappointed. I'm disappointed for Baker. I truly am. I wanted him to be the guy. What's sort of most telling to me about, the behind the scenes things that we don't really get, right? With you guys, sitting across the country, and me in Maryland, and, obviously we're not employees of the Browns, but the fact that nobody wants this guy at what's basically a bargain price, that 18.7 or whatever, call it 19 million for a starting quarterback. He's a starting caliber quarterback and nobody wants him. So there's more going on with the Baker Mayfield story.
Why are they doing him like Johnny Manziel though? Does it seem like, for me, I'm getting heavy Johnny Manziel vibes?
So funny. I was going to use the word Johnny Manziel when I started talking about something else in this conversation, but yeah, I like him. I think his commercials are funny, right? Like, I think some of the things I've seen him and his wife do as far as like philanthropy and all those things in the city, like I thought
he's a marketable dude.
Some of these folks he's gotten tickets for, and that they'll meet after the game and pose for pictures, and I think to me they're likable from my view, from my vantage point, but I'm not really sure, because again, this is a guy that I think he would fit well in that Seattle program. He's not as good as Russell, obviously, but right, he plays the same type of football, right? He comes in and you've got the scheme that you run, and Baker kind of plugs into that, but obviously Pete Carroll doesn't really want him, or at least, again, not want him at that price. Right. So I'll wrap up the Baker part. I'll just tell you that I'm disappointed. But what I want to say is that there's talk that they're not going to trade him, or potentially not going to trade him until after the season starts. Now, there's always like that jockeying that goes back and forth about like what's the truth and what's not. Remember, the Seahawks weren't. Pete Carroll stood up and said out loud, word for word, we have no intention of trading Russell Wilson. And then a week later, he's on Aaron's team, right? So
right.
You can't believe anything that you hear or read, even if it's from the horse's mouth. You can't believe the horse. But here's what I'm saying. My opinion, I think they should sit down with Baker. They should keep Baker. Sit down with him. He's right now, in my opinion, better than Jacoby Brissett. Better as far as knowing
all
this
these
offense.
backups,
and obviously the coach the coach / play caller knows him. So how I would address it is, I'd sit down with Baker and say, listen, let's work out an idea that works for both of us. If Deshaun Watson winds up suspended, you come in, you be our starting quarterback. I believe the minimum sexual misconduct suspension is 6 games. So Baker comes in, I think, don't quote me on that, but Baker comes in, plays the first 6 games, knocks out a third of his salary. Right now, all of a sudden, he's only owed 12 instead of 18, whatever the number is. Right. Yeah. And if he comes in and does well and wins, then he becomes more tradable and he becomes more marketable for a trade. Right. Because if people don't want him at that price, they probably wouldn't mind him at 12 million. And if he comes in and plays the first 6 games and kicks butt, then now he's shown that he's still good to go. And his trade value is going to go up. It's going to increase his opportunities to go to a team he wants to go to and set up his future. Now, will it happen? No. Is there another wrinkle in there? He's not going to go to camp with a team. And so when he finally does make it to his long-term team, he's not going to know their offense, and there's going to be an adjustment period. So I don't think it'll happen, but I think it's an option, or at least something that every side should explore. And don't forget that it definitely looked like Aaron Rodgers and the Packers were getting divorced before last season. and then all of a sudden he has an MVP caliber season and he's back.
Exactly.
Right? So you never know what's going to happen. The future is definitely Deshaun Watson, but there may be some play in there a little bit where Baker can sort of help himself while helping the team. And if we can go 3-3, we being the Browns, remember, I'll just call them we. If we can
you work there, right?
Represent that.
If we can go 3-3 for the first 6 games or whatever it happens to be, I mean, we got a pretty decent shot of making the playoffs. So,
did he get surgery on his shoulder?
I was gonna say,
did he get surgery?
Yeah.
Did he?
Yeah, exactly.
The labrum or whatever it was on his non-throwing arm, right?
Remember,
non-throwing shoulder.
Yeah, but that's like that lead shoulder, which was why he was so immobile because he couldn't throw it across his body.
Right, and I don't know why. Excuse me, I don't know why the Seahawks can't pay $20 million for him because
they have.
I mean, Aaron would have to tell us about Drew Lock. I don't know a whole lot about Drew Lock.
Everybody knows about Drew Lock. Come on, man, stop playing.
And so I would take Baker Mayfield in a heartbeat for $19 million, even if it's a match. But Baker, Minshew, and who was the other guy? I said, Colin Kaepernick, was one of them opportunities, and Jameis, but Jameis signed. So I'm stuck with Baker or who else did I just say? God dang it, Minshew.
Forget all of that. Rudy, talk to me real quick. Fan perspective. Why would Haslam and the ownership group and the Browns and their whole inside business room area all of a sudden sour on Baker? It's not just this injury. It was just heavyweight playoff situations a year before last. In your opinion, why did they sour on your mans this quick?
I mean, you guys brought up the name Manziel earlier, and I guess the question is Baker a little bit cockier than what he's worth? That's the only thing I can think of. I mean, you got the Odell issue, right? Odell was complaining. Odell's dad was complaining about him not getting the ball, this, that, and the other. And Odell went, and I mean, by all intents, Odell was on his way to being the MVP of that Super Bowl. I know a Rams fan.
True.
And I'm telling you that, right? I know you. I'm talking about you. But, right, like obviously, Odell proved to be a good kid. He was a good kid out there in LA. He didn't get in trouble. He didn't get LA-itis. He didn't talk trash about anybody else on that team. He showed up as the number 2 receiver behind Cooper Kupp. Like, there were no issues. So, is there?
Yeah,
is there
but there would have been.
There
would have been issues if Robert Woods wouldn't have got hurt. There would have been issues, and then you would have saw his true face.
I don't think so.
No, but now we're in full speculation mode about Baker. Right? Yeah. This isn't about Odell in just that,
we're in conspiracy theories like Jones like.
Right. They're exactly what they are. So, again, there was that. There was a couple of instances where Baker questioned the play calling. I mean, I don't know. Baker seems like a likable guy. He seems like a good leader. Obviously, remember how John Dorsey raved about him when he met him after his senior year. But, then again, there's these pictures of Baker planting that flag in the middle of the O at Ohio State. The Oklahoma flag in the ground at Ohio State when he beat Ohio State in 2017 or whatever that was. I mean, so, ultimately, he may not be the easiest guy to get along with. I don't know. I don't get that much.
He's not Brandon Whedon, bro. He's not Brady Quinn.
Right.
He's not Luke McCown. I mean, why would they just throw him in the pile with all of those other QBs that just get shit on regularly, though? He's not that guy. He did something. He actually did something.
Right. And then this goes to the part of that we text offline, exactly what I was thinking. But none of us know Baker's real personality, like personable, right? But like coming from just any of us being in any aspect of a work environment, when you get shit on and treated like shit, why are you going to produce for a team that doesn't want you? So is Baker going to, bite his tongue and sit back and say, I think Deshaun's going to be suspended for 6-8 games, maybe a whole year. So this is my opportunity. Is Baker going to do that? Or is he going to say, you know what? Does he have an option to say, trade me?
you know, I mean, he has that option, I think, to try to push for that trade. And also, you know, these players nowadays are finding their own trades, right? Like their agents are running around finding trades, but you know, it would show a lot. I'll tell you, I don't think it's going to happen, Pingo. Like I don't believe it's going to happen. I said that when I got done with that little speech about it. It would show a lot. It would show an absolute lot of his maturity level. If he played well, if he did well, if everything was good, it would show that he was willing to be humble, that he was willing to come in and be professional. Like think about, right? Like what would that look like? How could you bash Baker Mayfield? He comes out to a team that didn't want him. He, you know, they work out a deal. He comes in here, boom, you know, 6 games, goes 3-3, 4-2, 5-1, whatever it is that they go. I haven't seen their schedule yet, and I know who their opponents are, but not the timeline of the schedule. I mean, it's an opportunity for him to sort of like save a little bit of face. But again, I don't necessarily think that that's going to happen. It's just kind of, you know, like we were definitely speculating through that portion, that segment, if you will, of
right. And I think you touched on it. Like you touched on him, like, you know, doing his job and escalating his value next year if he does stick around. I'm 100% agree with you on that too. If, you know, he sticks around, then he can, you know, escalate his value as a quarterback. I mean, how many, I don't know off the top of my head. Minshew's the only one that comes to mind of a backup quarterback that's an actual starter in this league. Baker, if he's a backup to Deshaun at the beginning of the year, he's definitely a starter in this league, probably better than at least 5 or 10 quarterbacks that we have, right? In the league that are starters right now. So I'm looking forward to see what Baker. I really hope the Seahawks can just pull it off and just, you know, give him the opportunity. I mean, you're not going to bring Baker in to have him challenge or compete, in Pete's words, for a starting quarterback. So you guys hear me okay, by the way?
Let's do this. Let's do this before we jump script. Because I mean, before we get into Deshaun Watson and how the fans feel about Deshaun Watson, let's talk about something that's constructive. We know that Jarvis Landry still is in limbo, but what do you think about the addition of Amari Cooper into the fray, given regardless what quarterback is in there? What did you think about that signing that happened? That's pretty big, right?
So yeah, I really like Amari Cooper, right? I mean, you know, I've been kind of following him for the majority of his career. I think I had him on a couple of fantasy teams. Like I like what he brings. I don't necessarily believe that he is a huge upgrade from a healthy Jarvis Landry. So prior to the signing of Deshaun Watson, because now, of course, the Browns are in this major cap problem, right? You know, they're giving a huge amount of money to your Myles Garrett's and hopefully Denzel Ward, which is probably another conversation we'll have later, not today, but right, like they got a lot of money that they're giving out. That offensive line, right, between Joel Bitonio and Wyatt Teller and these guys they're signing, right? Yeah. Like now all of a sudden that extra $4 million, we could have had Jarvis at 16. Now we got Amari Cooper at 20, right? He's a $20 million cap hit. So that's kind of significant. He is maybe in a little bit better shape than Jarvis, but listen, Jarvis is a leader and you know, so when we let Jarvis Landry go and we had Baker Mayfield at 18 million, and we probably could have afforded to bring Jarvis back for 10 or 11 million plus incentives, like that would have been awesome to have Jarvis and Amari. Maybe or maybe not.
It's still not a possibility. Not a possibility.
Right. Totally a possibility. But okay. we the Browns are running out of money. You know, we're running out of money. So we got to figure out. There's Jadeveon out there. Like, I mean, listen, we can't forget about this defense. You know, we got Amari Cooper right now on the roster. We got Donovan Peoples-Jones on the roster. We got the Schwartz kid, the speed demon from wherever, I can't remember where he went to school, but you know, they got 3. He's the kid. Remember that he's super fast, but he's the kid that let that ball go, that got intercepted, and Baker Mayfield got hurt tackling. Yeah, look it up. It's like game 2. But
okay.
They've got some talent at wide receiver, but they got a hole on the other side of Myles Garrett, and I would love to see Jadeveon Clowney get back in there. So there's a lot of guys that we potentially could sign, from Jarvis to Clowney to, that whole OBJ thing, but OBJ is only going to play a portion of the season and would have to be willing to take a significant pay cut to play next to his buddy and Amari Cooper. And that would be great. But so,
why did they cut him? Did they cut Landry because of the salary? Because of the salary?
Yeah, he was
owed?
He would have been 16 million had they kept him, but like 1 million if they cut him. So they released him and they're trying to work it back out. But so, before, when there was money left, the Amari Cooper signing was great. Now that there's not money left, it's like, well, there's Jarvis out there. And so I really don't know. Like, it remains to be seen how well Cooper does compared to how well Jarvis Landry did his first couple years. But Jarvis is the kind of guy, you guys remember that video clip of him in the locker room or in the video room yelling at the wide receivers, talking about, we play hurt, we get out there no matter what, we get our butts out there and play.
Definitely.
Like that's the kind of guy that you get on your team. So now, Devontae Adams, for example, like that's, obviously he's making more than Amari Cooper, but there's a big separation. There's a big separation right now. You think about the separation in talent and production between wide receivers, and I think before this all went down, you all would have put Jarvis Landry and Amari Cooper in the same peg, right, in the same hole.
Maybe,
and then
I would have put them both above Christian Kirk. I'll tell you that damn much right now.
Right. So I do like the signing, and I hope that, I hope Jarvis is willing to come back. And I think, that might be a guy, if there are Deshaun Watson personality issues, having a guy like Jarvis Landry, in a position that's near him, right? Like, it's great to think about how Myles Garrett has really turned himself into a role model, and he has. Aaron posted that meme. I don't know if you guys saw it, where Will Smith has a Browns helmet in his hand when he's hitting Chris Rock, and it says Myles Garrett and right. That was Aaron made that. I don't know if he made it, but he found it. No, but that's not true of Myles Garrett anymore, right? Myles is
right.
But
I don't think it ever was, to be honest. I think that's one of those in the moment situations.
Right. But so you got Myles on the other side of the ball. But if you put if there are Deshaun Watson character issues, having a guy like Jarvis would be a great addition to that team. So I hope it works. I hope it works.
All right. Now let's go here. Foundational pieces. Let's move around to other playmakers. One of the most significant backfields in the league Cleveland has, right? With Chubb and Hunt and that two-headed monster that they can work with all day. On best behavior at full strength, Watson, those two guys. I mean, what is the limit that you see from, forget all of the speculation about what anybody was accused for, you plug in, you lost Hollywood Higgins, but you still got Peoples-Jones, like you mentioned before, and Cooper. Without any accusations, what are the Cleveland Browns with Watson and that backfield and the wide receiving corp that's there right now? How do you feel about that?
Two things real quick though. They just signed another one. They just signed another running back. Can't remember who it was, right?
He ain't gonna play.
They just signed someone else that was decent. And second of all, Watson hasn't even played in a year and a half.
I'm asking the man about his squad.
That's what I'm just saying. Reference that too while you're there.
All right. First of all, let me just say this. We need to cut money. And old boy Kareem Hunt is due some large amount of money. Don't be surprised if that dude gets traded and we go and pick up, we did the second round tender on Ernest Johnson, who you guys remember watching that dude run for 100 yards twice.
Easy.
I forgot they still have him.
That was the cheaper money right there.
Right. Now I love Kareem Hunt, as much as anyone, but if he's going to be your backup to someone like Nick Chubb, who's your workhorse, I wouldn't be surprised if Hunt winds up being a salary casualty. And I love that dude. I mean, seriously. And as long as he goes somewhere not the Steelers, right? Like, I would love to see him become the featured back again. So it doesn't bother me if, we got 2 awesome years out of him. He spent a lot of time hurt last year. but now he's due some 6 or 7 million this year. I'd have to look at the cap number.
Yeah.
But so he may not be there, but let's
you're gonna have a backfield regardless, a great backfield regardless.
I want to answer your question with sort of just a statement, not really an answer, but what you're thinking in your mind, and I see your gears, turning while you're asking me that question about the backfield, and that's the reason why they went for Deshaun. That's why right there, like that's why because what they could put together is something so special with those guys. And a quarterback that can move and run and throw. And I mean, he checks every box as a quarterback. I think if there's one knock on the dude, he's not big. But I mean, otherwise, like this is a guy that's a proven winner. He won in college. He's won in the pros. And now you bring that athleticism with that team and that offensive line. Like you were naming names, but you didn't name any of those offensive linemen. I mean, that's why it's
what it is.
Because he don't know.
What you mean I don't know? Those are the dudes that make it all work. Bro,
right. You don't know no names though.
Come on, man. You got me messed up.
You don't know Botonio,
Treader, the other cat, the other dude from the other side. Come on, man. You know I know all of these guys.
Joe. Man. And Joe too.
The offensive line is what makes Chubb get his bread. That makes Hunt rejuvenated. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. It's the marksmanship of what this team does. The reason why I said the offensive playmakers' names is because they're allowed to do that because of where the Browns have focused their energy. Like I told you, the Seahawks need to do is focus it in the trenches so they can rebuild strong. You work inside out.
Right.
And that's what they've already got the inside together. So they already know that they got a running game. Okay, so now you add a potential threat at a passing game that could be crazy with anybody because Deshaun Watson just did it only throwing to D-Hop in Houston last time he played. Primarily, exclusively throwing it to Hopkins. Exactly, on a garbage team that had him running around crazy. So I'm just saying
this guy's they're gonna use play action, they're gonna use rollouts, right? They're gonna throw to the running backs, right? They're gonna throw to the tight ends, they're gonna throw to the wide receivers, and then when none of it's there, or even when it is there, Deshaun's gonna take off with his 4.5 speed and be gone
easy.
And so you know what I'm saying? Like it's gonna hurt teams, and so that is why they took that risk. So now let's shift to him. And why? So when you have the opportunity, again, let's forget about the accusations at this moment in time, and let's just talk about Deshaun Watson
and the type of person that he's
played
out to be.
Because we're gonna come back to that.
So we talk about the football player, and when you as an organization have the opportunity to upgrade your football team to the extent that the Browns just did, you take that opportunity, you pay the money, you do what you got, you give the draft picks up, you take that money because they don't have any first round draft picks for the next 3 years. They've lost some.
Who needs those? Picks. Nobody needs those.
Right now they
showed you this.
They don't. They
That's
don't,
right.
and because you think about Myles Garrett, his contract, and how many more years he has left, and you think about like all these pieces that they have, they are absolutely in win now mode. We went into the offseason before last year expecting to go to and win the Super Bowl. Like those were the expectations because we beat the Steelers twice in a row at the end of the season. We put up 40 some odd points for the only time that amount of points has ever been put up against the Steelers in a playoff game. Like we went in there with the idea of winning the Super Bowl. Baker got hurt. It all unraveled, good, bad, right, or wrong. It's over with. But those are the expectations. Now, if you're the Browns, like, do you want to win aside from winning a Super Bowl, right? Don't you want to win one for Myles Garrett? Don't you want to win one for Joe Botonio? Don't you want to win one for the guys that have been there when you were 0-16, 1-15? Joe's not on the team anymore, Pinga. He's been gone for a couple of years.
Joe always going to be on the team. Bernie Kosar always going to be on the team.
I know.
But right, exactly. And what's his name still alive?
OG Simpson?
Jim Brown. Jim Brown's still alive. Like we gotta win one for Jim Brown, right? But so you make that move, you pay the money and the dividends, hopefully in the next couple of years before some of your higher price guys, because eventually they're going to have to either trade off Deshaun or not re-sign Miles, or start redoing, start to rebuild financially, because these contracts are going to hit them, but they still have a window this year, next year, and maybe one more year where they can win. So you absolutely upgrade the roster to a quarterback like Deshaun Watson without even thinking twice about what it financially costs you or what it draft pick costs you, because they are built to win right now.
They are.
Now,
wait, homie. Wait.
Go ahead, because I'm ready to get into the mud now.
I got one more thing. I fully believe that Watson is a upgrade, no doubt in my mind, right?
Yeah, you got brain cells, right?
Baker.
You got brain cells, right?
Shit.
So yeah, that's
Sometimes.
easy.
I don't know how many I have of those left. I'm not saying that Baker is a chump, And in all seriousness, I am afraid for what Watson can bring to the table due to the fact that he's been away from football for a year. And I know I was joking about earlier,
Kaepernick,
but he's been away for a year, and all the mind and all the mental part of it. I mean, is he that dude that can
just
shut it out? I'm just saying. No, I'm saying in seriousness that Watson, it's going to be interesting to find out. So yes, he's going to be good. So I want to see him on the field. I want to see him on the field to start the season. I don't want him waiting another 6 or 8 games if I'm a Browns fan.
No.
Well, yeah. Let me throw this at you real quick. Like, he missed last year. He wasn't suspended, but he missed all of last year, and we're all worried about him sitting. But like, if he would have missed all of last year because he tore an ACL, and which happens, right? ACLs and Achilles tendons, they take players out for a whole year all the time. And we worry about that, the knee holding up. We worry about the Achilles holding up, right? But we don't worry about their brain. These Deshaun Watson's been playing the quarterback position in football since he was probably 12. I mean, whatever year it was that somebody looked at that kid and was like, "Damn, you got it." So
Dabo called him Jordan, bro.
He did. I don't think the brain is gonna lag behind the body. And you know what?
Exactly.
With all the ability, the coaching, like, he can go to any of those quarterback factories during the offseason, and we don't have any. He's probably.
But did he? We don't have any proof that he did.
No, I'm saying he can do all that stuff now. I mean, I've seen plenty of pictures of him. He definitely didn't put on weight. So again, we have players miss seasons all the time.
Right.
Due to injuries. This dude missed the season not due to an injury. Like, I don't think that we should consider him to be any less ready to take on this season.
More of a liability, not as much of a liability as you think he could be. I'm just saying that in a mental space, that the shit that this kid is going through is madness, right? I mean, I don't know, like, any accusations.
It's still a game.
It is still a game, and you still have to be able to have your mentals right to do that.
Listen, this year
I just want to see him out there and see how
if he was at the top of his game. If he was at the top of his game, and look at Aaron Rodgers, how much stuff is getting thrown in his face. You know what I mean? That's nothing. This is not. Yeah, he's got a little bit of legal situations. Huh?
Did Cam Newton miss a year when Cam Newton came back? Was he out a whole year before he signed with the Patriots?
But Cam Newton was semi-washed already, though. I mean, I would say. Older.
Wasn't
He's
he
not
just
a 20-something-year-old dude.
4 years ago, Super Bowl?
We're talking about a 20-something-year-old dude right now is what we're talking about. You know what I mean? Who didn't even crack the chest plate of his prime yet, and still hasn't, and got a year off of the physicality. Come on. But look, let's do this. Let's do this.
Yeah. All right.
Rudy, tell me, what is the pulse of everybody's opinion about Deshaun Watson, including the drama? Do we want the drama, or do we care about it? Are we boycotting? What's going on?
So first of all, let me say this very clearly. There are always going to be people that aren't going to become Deshaun Watson fans, and there have been some people who have left the Browns as fans. I read today that Jim Tomey, one of the greatest Indians baseball players of all time, right? Apparently his wife did not renew her season tickets. You're gonna have that, but man, listen, that stadium is gonna be full on opening day, right? It's gonna be loud, it's gonna be crazy, right? So I mean, I don't want to talk about what's gonna happen as far as like who's gonna show up and not, because that stadium's gonna be full. And when he starts winning games, or the Browns start winning games, or Nick Chubb starts running, 87-yard touchdown runs down the right side, you know what I'm saying? Like all this stuff is gonna eventually kind of go away, and we're gonna sort of get over it. What bothers me right now, and you guys didn't know me at the time, but one of the things I hated the most, and this is the only thing I don't like about this, is I hated when the Browns drafted Johnny Manziel. I hated it. Okay. I remember for that whole offseason, I was in the gym every day, and I was like on the treadmills and stuff, and the TVs up at 24-Hour Fitness was, showing all the highlights and all the drama. And I mean, every single day, guys like Colin Cowherd. I mean, just ripping this guy and ripping the whole city. I always said that the thing I loved the most about LeBron James being on the Cavaliers in Cleveland was that he made the city of Cleveland relevant, right?
Yes, sir.
And I like that. I like when, I like what the Cavs are doing now, but I like when I like when the city's relevant. Yeah. I like when there's a positive vibe. I like when I tell people that I'm a Browns fan, or I'm a Cavs fan, or a Guardians fan, or a Buckeyes fan. Like, I like when I say those things and people are like, oh yeah, Guardians. Man, that's pretty cool. And I don't like the negative. I can't stand the negative. Like, I haven't worn a Browns shirt out in public yet. And I only say yet because I will, but I haven't worn a Browns fan shirt out in public yet.
Because you're working.
Because I just don't, right. I'm always wearing this one, but I don't want to hear it. Like, I don't want to hear the negative. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to have it. I don't want to be having these conversations. Like, I don't want to have these conversations.
That's why we give the platform here, bro. We can give it out
right
to everybody.
But we should have these conversations. I mean, sexual harassment, sexual assault, sexual misconduct against women, or against men in general, but against women is a very serious thing. It's a very serious issue. And so we should take it seriously. Yes, and sir. People should care. People should care about whether or not this man's a sexual deviant, right? Yeah. I mean, aside from the fact that, like, if he really is assaulting these women or harassing these women, and now he's going to be, paid $230 guaranteed $1 million. Like, I mean, we should care. We should investigate. We should question what's going on. But we're never going to know the story. We're never going to know the truth.
Ben Roethlisberger. I'm just saying.
Ben cleared. Tell me Ben didn't clean up. Ben cleaned it up.
And that's kind of my thing. I mean, it's like, yeah. I mean, a lot of this stuff, man. I mean, as a people, as a human group, especially given the internet. Oh my God! Especially given the internet, we have become a more conscious set of people about everything. Because before,
unless you're AB Antonio Brown, you're not conscious about shit.
I mean, you go back to a couple years ago when I was in high school, Snoop Dogg will tell you that the bees ain't shit but hoes and tricks. You know what I'm saying? And that was, everybody danced around to this, right? So, but it's a little bit of a different element now. You know what I mean? So the consciousness there, and in some ways I go, are we a little bit moving too far that way, beyond the level of just having respect and everybody needs to be chastised? Or, I mean, can it be the redemption story, right? I mean, you remember how they did Michael Vick, right? And these were dogs, and everybody cares about dogs. Everybody loves dogs. I don't love them. You know what I'm saying? They seem to not like me. You know what I'm saying? I don't give a damn.
Well, that's because it could be
a big ass Great
Dane.
It could be a yappy ass dog. I don't know why. They just look at me and go, "He's that one. Get him up out of here." But these was dogs, and Michael Vick, he faced a whole hell of a lot of stuff. Now that was dogs. Now, understandable. Not a human being. We take a lot of I guess, pride in being on the righteous side of things. And I think some people, and me and my wife talk about this all the time, everybody loves to rush and jump on a side, right? They want to be on a side of something and they want to plant their flag in that side.
I think
for the record, the anonymous big homie is on every side at the same damn time, even if y'all don't know it.
Look at it all.
You know what I'm saying? I am Al Pacino and Keanu Reeves. If I'm talking about the right ass movie, I am the devil's advocate. That's it. But that's what I'm saying. Because I know a whole lot of people is going, man. I seen another national radio show with the Browns fan on it, and he's swear to God that he has renounced his fandom. And I go, that is the corniest thing I've ever heard. Right? If this is the squad you grew up with for one guy and one ownership decision, you are telling me that you are going to renounce your fandom. The only reason I renounce my fandom is when my team left my city. Okay, when the Rams left Los Angeles, I said, peace to you. Eric Dickerson went to the Colts. I will roll with them then. That's it. That's my guy, right? But all of the righteousness and everybody, everybody's everybody, but I keep
doesn't that go back to go back to your statement of people jumping to conclusions, right? 100%. Like this guy that you heard of, jumping ship or whatever, is because he, just looks at one and picks a side. Exactly what you just said. Picks a side and says,
it's just wrong. Yeah. He's like, it's wrong. And that's just it. I don't care all of the time and energy I've invested, and not to mention monetarily into fan gear and, I'm saying, and all of this stuff into my team. I am going to jump ship because I don't think that this is proper. Now, I could understand that. I guess if that's the stance you want to take, well, that's great. I wouldn't take that stance though.
My take on it is, like, I feel like people morally have the right to leave their team, right? You morally have the right. I mean, if you think about, my two basketball teams are the Cavs and the Wizards that I follow. And, if they just started, signing everybody out of, remember the football movie with Adam Sandler and Chris Rock, right? Like, where they in jail.
Yeah, Longest Yard.
We start hiring all these felons and convicts. I mean, I do, morally have a right. Or, if my team ownership and management is going against my religious beliefs as a human being, I'm a human being and a father and a husband, and I am all those things first. So I feel like we do have a right to say, I'm out. This crossed my line. I feel like we do. I've already lost a friend, by the way. Like I lost a friend.
I'm sure that just
he posed, and he, Browns fan, and he posed this thing to me about, like, what if it was my wife or my daughter?
Yeah,
what he said.
I already know.
And I was like, I just, I was like, man, I go, I'm not ready to go there. Like, it's not my wife and daughter, and I respect those who it is, but we're still in the infant stages of this drama. Excuse me. The two different grand juries, and I think this is important. It was only one at the time.
So
two different grand juries. Man, they would have run him up the flagpole.
Easy.
Right? I mean, you think about if there was even a
anything
reasonable, what's the word? Like, not reasonable doubt, but reasonable suspicion. If the grand jury felt that there was, and these are people that are getting all of the info. We're getting pieces of the info. I heard that he was naked and humped the air while he was getting his groin massaged. I mean, like, we're getting little bits and pieces of this thing. We're not getting the whole story. The grand jury got the whole story, and they decided that they didn't have enough to charge the guy with a criminal crime, like that criminal crime. But they weren't protecting him. They weren't like, it's not like, right? Like, it's not like you could say, oh, well, he's young and rich and flashy, and he's the face of Houston.
Let's get him
doing that.
Yeah,
they didn't, or let's not get him on the opposite. Let's let him off.
Right.
They didn't do that. They didn't do that. Like, they didn't have the info. So we don't have the info. You brought up social media. I can look at you both right now and say, you guys realize that 50% of social media the last 2 years told us COVID was fake. I mean, there's no way that we can compete with the truth and with what's actually going on. So part of me kind of wishes that Carolina fans or Atlanta fans were the ones that were dealing with this negative backlash. right? And I don't like the fact that we're getting, as Browns fans, we're getting the grief from social media and just from people that we know. Like, I don't like that fact that it's happening to my team. I wish my team hired nothing but saints and angels, and you know what I mean, like,
right.
And everybody was
and good athletes and all around.
Every team, every team was Jarvis Landry that
yes, sir.
that doesn't cheat on his wife and isn't out causing trouble. Like, I wish that be the case, but I know that as soon as the football season starts, and I mean, when it's about football, we're going to be rooting for that man. Everyone's going to be rooting for that man. And I'm hoping, if he's a rapist, if he's, if he hurts women, if he is, if he's that guy, then you know what, then hopefully the Browns do something about it. But, they did what they consider to be their due diligence as employees of that team.
Yes, sir.
They did their due diligence, and they felt like they're going to be able to sign him, and that he wasn't going to be a problem, and that he was going to be able to get past these allegations. And me, as kind of like, I'm not their employer, but I'm a ticket buyer, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm a jersey buyer, and I'm a fan. And me as a fan, like, I don't pay them, but I pay them with my patronage, right?
That's
so
right.
I sort of pay them. I pay them to put the best product on the field that they possibly can, so that they can win. And they can win that Super Bowl. Like I sent you guys a text of that T-shirt that said "Just one before I die." That was what cost me that friend, by the way. But
sucker.
But so the long and short of that is that they did what they felt that they needed to do to put the best team on the field and win us, their fans, that Super Bowl. We as fans have a right to either cheer for them or not. And if we choose to back out, we have that right to do so. But I think, in my opinion, like, people should just slow the hell down, right? Like you said earlier, they're moving way too fast. They're taking this thing and letting it spread like wildfire. Chill out and let this thing play out. The Browns have a lot more contacts than we do, right? Mm-hmm. The grand jury had a lot more information than we do. Like, there's got to be something more than reasonable doubt, because, you're innocent in a court of law if the defense can prove in reasonable doubt. But I think, and I'm not sure, but I think that for a grand jury to be able to send it to court, there has to be reasonable suspicion. Is there?
That's the word.
Again, don't quote me on that, but is there not, when you look at the facts, is there not reasonable suspicion? So I want to make it clear that, like, I do. I mean, I have a lovely wife, a beautiful daughter, and I would be, I'd be smacking somebody on stage
all day
if they assaulted my wife with their penis, right? Like, I admit
100%.
That.
Keep your junk to yourself. Yeah, man.
Right. But I think that we all should just kind of bring it in a little bit, right?
Yes, sir.
It's about to be baseball season. Go Juan Soto. Right, got to get me them Juan Soto socks I showed you guys. And let's let this play out. Let's let the legal system play out. Let's trust that the Browns. I mean, Andrew Berry, the Browns GM, is a Harvard graduate. Like, he has a wife. Like, this is a guy that, like, even one of the owners, Jimmy and Dee Haslam, his wife is a woman, right? She's as much owner as Jimmy is. She's signed off on it. Their two daughters signed off on it. That's what I'm saying. They got to read the report. So, women that knew, these guys knew that this was going to be drama, and they did it anyway, because obviously something about this case, they feel as though it's not going to hem them up. And, they feel like they didn't bring a sexual deviant into the city of Cleveland.
All right, Rudy, check this out. Hey, we're gonna flip.
Wait, you got more? No. Roll in?
Yeah, hell yeah, I do. Because
all right, well, let's.
I finally got the man back on the scene. Okay.
Yeah.
And look,
he's gonna cut you a promo, Rudy, for his tech skills. He's gonna cut you a promo and send it to Cleveland Sports Gazette to get you another job, because you need another one.
Cleveland plain dealer. You know what I mean?
Hey, that was my dream job, by the way.
Hey, look,
that's what I'm saying.
But okay, so this is the last thing I wanted to hit on before we got off of the football situation for a minute, because it's not a lot going on, and Jones isn't here, because I would ask him this same question too. What do you think about all of the movement and the major shift that's happened with the AFC, and specifically the AFC West, I mean, I got to get your opinion about all of this power that's moved to the AFC, and then Tariq moving to Miami. So it's all of this AFC action happening while the NFC seems like Aaron Rodgers sitting there naked. The Rams defending champions. We sitting there, losing bodies maybe, and people retiring and all of this. The AFC is making moves. Talk to us about
it. I'm not prepared for this conversation. It's probably, in theory, I want to call it like the Tom Brady effect, but I'm trying to think like you got these shifts, right, in power. So like for years when Tom Brady, you caught me off guard. I wasn't ready for that.
No, so I like that.
Trust me, you're ready. You just need to find the words. You got it.
Look at the NBA, right? Like in the NBA, you got for years and years, like the East just kills the West, and the West has no chance. And so like then all of a sudden, like Steph Curry comes up. Now Steph Curry comes up, and like he becomes like this MVP, and every year they're going to the Super Bowl or they're going to the NBA championship. And so the only way you're going to get to the championship, because you can't go join the West, right? Because you got to go through Steph Curry. So you go to the East, and the East was weaker than the West at the time, right? And so then all of a sudden now these teams in the East have built up, and now look what the East is doing, right? And so LeBron James leaves the East, and it was getting tough out there when he left. He goes out to the West, right? And so it's like that ever change. You got to adjust, right? So if you look at like Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, like you look at like the teams from the NFC that have been making the championship, right? The Super Bowl, like year in and year out, right? I mean, like, because correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm going to ask a dumb question. The Bucks are in the NFC.
Mm-hmm.
The Bucks are NFC, right?
Right. So that's a question. Did all these moves start happening when Brady re-signed, or because it was only 40 days he was retired?
No, this was happening before.
Right before it started happening?
Yeah, it almost Russell Wilson, all of that, and Khalil Mack.
No, Russell happened after, because Russell happened after, and because Rodgers signed, Russell left, and Brady came out right before that or right after that. Because it's kind of the thing, like you said, like Rudy was speculating or saying that, they want to stay out of the NFC, because did people start thinking, or these players start thinking, well, fuck, we got to go through. Well, I guess Tyreek went to the AFC still, but, Russell went from the NFC to the AFC.
Why would everybody go to the AFC West, and you guys have games against each other? So what's the best you're going to do? Split with Kansas City, Denver, Chargers, and whatnot? Because everybody is bubbling, and they're showing you that they're bubbling and they're making an attempt to win.
But prior to Russell Wilson leaving the Seahawks, I mean, look at that conference or that division. Look at that division.
Except for Kyler Murray.
You got the Cardinals and 49ers and the Rams. I mean, dude, so Russell, do you think Russell was going to win this year? If Russell Wilson was at the Seahawks this year, you think they're going to beat those teams? No.
Absolutely.
So Russell leaves. Now,
100%.
They had a better. I bet you they had a better chance than him being on the Broncos and being in that damn division right now.
But I was surprised that he went to the Broncos. I think if he wanted to get out of the NFC East, or I'm sorry, the NFC West, and get away from the Niners, Cardinals, and Rams, I wouldn't have gone to the next best division in football, right?
Probably the best division in football, in my opinion.
Straight up, easy.
I would have
went to Miami, or I would have went to New Orleans, or somewhere where everything is already baked in.
Right.
Because remember, I told you the first free agent quarterback that goes to the NFC South is winning that damn division easy. And still there hasn't been one. We still working with Sam Darnold. We're still working with who knows
Tom Brady.
Well, now we're working with Marcus Mariota in Atlanta. We're working with Tua, or not Tua, I'm sorry. What's the other squad? But anyway, bypass that. We're still working with Jameis Winston in New Orleans
and Tom Brady.
So now Tom Brady came back. So now Tom Brady is definitely winning that division.
But you got Jameis Winston in New Orleans again, though. So right? Oh, yeah. He did resign with them, right? Fucking NFC champs, baby. NFL MVP.
Anyway, man, these dudes, the NFC has pulled the NFC West, by the way, has pulled a full boss move on the entire league. And Miami was forced. I ain't even gonna get on it. Miami was forced to pull that move with Tyreek Hill. If that was on the table, yes, you make that move, because even if Tua is not the guy, the next guy is going to love this team, and it might be Tom Brady. Trust me, Tom Brady might not be done yet. Tom Brady might not make another snap for Tampa Bay right now.
That's funny
to this day.
That's funny because, of course, all the press conferences you see that people are asking Mike McDaniel, the head coach of Miami now, he says it's quote unquote fake news. Everybody knows that if it's out there, someone's talking about it.
They tried to get Tom Brady twice,
just like DK.
Flores was there.
Yeah, just like DK, when DK was out here talking, and now Pete Carroll said the same thing that Rudy referenced to earlier. Yeah, we'd like to win with the guys we have now. He said that with Russ. He says that with DK. He says that with Lockett. All these guys are out on the table.
You always say it. I mean, look at every free agent ever always says they want to go back to their team. It's what you say. It's just what you say. That way, if you wind up back on your team, you don't play for the Broncos and say you want to play for the Raiders. Like, you don't say that, right? Because then the next year you come back and you play for the Broncos again because your agent works out a great deal. And now all of a sudden, what do you got? You just pissed off every one of your Broncos fans, and you don't do that. I was super caught off guard by the fact that Tyreek left. I can't believe that.
Well, that happened in like 45 minutes, bro. That was someone said it, and all of a sudden I was like, "What are you talking about?"
I was like, "Huh? No, that's foolish."
There is magic. There is magic that you don't get rid of, right? Like, there is magic. I mean, like, I hate to say, I don't want to call them Jordan and Pippen, but I mean, like, Pippen didn't be like, "Yeah, I'm going to the Lakers." No, right? Like, Tyreek is Tyreek, and he's fast and he's great, but like, he's got to make sure that like he's got a quarterback that can get him that ball the way that Patrick Mahomes can. And there are not that many quarterbacks that can do the things that Patrick Mahomes can do. And so Tua's not that guy. And you know what? Tom Brady's probably not that guy. Like, Tom Brady doesn't have that arm that Mahomes has. And just, you've seen that meme where like they got a picture of Mahomes going down and he's just flinging the ball. And the caption reads, "Tyreek's down there somewhere."
Yeah.
Right. Tyreek is down there somewhere. And
you imagine Tyreek Hill with Josh Allen?
I was going to say, you want to play with Josh Allen, go to Josh Allen. You want to play with one of those dynamic quarterbacks. Like, I get it, but that move cost me now.
Young Herb
caught me off guard. Maybe this dude's, made his money, but he's won his, he's won his Super Bowl, right? He was on that team when they won the Super Bowl, right?
Yeah, so, it was. Yeah.
Right. So, I mean, like maybe at this point, there's so many greats that haven't won a Super Bowl, Ken Griffey Jr., right? That, like you got your one, you're good to go. You like how I threw that in there, Ken Griffey Jr.
Yeah, Ken Griffey Jr., baby. See that stuff on Baseballism with his line, dude? Shout out to them, because all of his clothes, like his sweatshirts, his hats, his
shorts, got gear?
There's some on Baseballism. It's some sweet gear they're dropping this week, I think, or maybe they already dropped it. But
he got to do something with that money since he's still getting paid by the Cincinnati Reds. Apparently,
they say he's the fifth highest player on the. He's the fifth highest player on the Cincinnati Reds payroll.
Oh yeah.
Something like that.
Yes, sir. It's an investment. It's a future investment.
Hey, all right. So we done with the Browns talk. Any other NFL?
We're done, man. I just want to say, I want to go back to the one thing is like I said, I think I'll be real interested to see, and hopefully we'll, I'm still doing these with you guys, come opening day or
anytime.
Whatever. Just because like I want to see like that place is gonna rock and all this stuff is gonna eventually fade off. I mean, everything negative that happens, everything that's embarrassing happens.
Especially when he starts winning, it's gonna be all under the rug, baby. And you know how sports fans do,
right?
Get the triplets in the dog pound. You know what I mean?
That's right. Where we will be too. Actually, we're coming out to our latest plan is a Seahawks game in October. So in Seattle. So my kids have never been to Seattle. They've never been to a Seahawks game. So the idea right now is to take them out to Seattle. So I might see you guys on the West Coast in October. But anyway,
absolutely, you will see us, because remember we're going to do the hopefully the football game and Kraken at the same time.
That's right.
Same
exactly.
week.
We talked
so
exactly because
hopefully you can plan it all the same.
They're both in October.
Area.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
So yeah, so I'm good. I'm good. I'm off it. I feel like I vented. I feel like this was therapeutic for me. You know,
hey, we did therapeutic for the 12s. We do therapeutic for the Browns fans too. Well, we've wanted you to come on. We've reached out. You with your 17 jobs that you have, so you can never make the time. But homies obviously had questions about the Browns, and I was looking forward to the Baker talk and trying to figure out all that too, and try to figure out what's going on, because we were talking about NFL a little bit after the season and all these moves going on, and Baker was a key product in that. So we wanted to know what was going on, and we needed a Cleveland Browns insider to make it happen.
I'll say that you guys that know me know that we're a blended family. My wife is a Seahawks fan from Olympia, Washington, and so that's kind of, and I was born and raised in Vegas. So like our hope for Baker is we really want Baker to go to the Seahawks because we want to continue rooting for him, because we are Baker Mayfield fans and we appreciate the joy that he brought us over the past couple of years. If he doesn't wind up at the Seahawks, I would like to see him on the Raiders, just because I kind of keep my eye on the Raiders, just because, at one point in my life, I was in line to get season tickets, and then life moved us out east. But, so I'm hoping though, first and foremost, like I would love to see him go to the Seahawks, and then, we keep rooting for him and just kind of have him, still kind of in our radar, with him being on the Hawks. So we'll see what happens, but yeah.
That 100% agree. I'll take him over here for sure and see how that goes. Oh man, homie, I know we talked about this and I want to get into this because first of all, we have to give it before we get into the fun stuff, because I know homie has a lot. He already put out a tutorial on this. I hope everybody's seen that. So if you didn't see the tutorial, check out the Instagram, check out my Facebook page and see the tutorial from the Nos Big Homie here in a second. You'll understand why. But we have to give condolences to Mr. the Professor, R.I.P. John Clayton. We didn't get to do a show last week when all that happened. So shout out to, what John Clayton did for everyone in Seattle and, obviously, and, Pittsburgh Steelers fan and grew up over there and did all that stuff. But that was a sad day. And I already referenced this, I think, to homie offline maybe, but it was sad because I listened to him in the mornings when I get up, and for the week before, he's always on at like 7:45 in the morning on the local radio station here. Listen to him, and he's always sound like he was like kind of sick and stuff, and then never misses a show. He's always there. The next week, like he missed here, the end of the week he missed like a day, and then the whole next week he missed like obviously the whole week. So that was kind of weird. But just want to give a shout out to the OG, the Professor John Clayton. Pretty sad day for Seattle sports fans, and may the best be with him and his family and his wife. So,
I mean, and come on, man, you have to remember, everybody knows how legendary the This Is Sports Center commercials was, and he probably has the most recognizable one out there for everybody. I mean, if you don't know it, here, take a quick listen.
No, can't hear nothing. Audio fail.
Oh, you ain't get that? That is loud as hell.
Nope. Nothing. Didn't hear a damn thing.
That's a cold thing, man. I had it queued up and everything. Well, anyway, the for everybody who's probably seen it, if you're a sports fan, you've probably seen it. But John Clayton goes from being in the suit to rocking out Slayer style in his room, yelling to his mom that he wants Totino's pizza rolls. You know what I'm saying? And it's dope. And I mean, I'm not a Seattle guy, but clearly this is a dude that's been a factor watching ESPN, getting insight, and word to everything. This dude is the father of I don't know about Mort, but Schefter, Woj, all of these dudes who think they have insight. John Clayton was the father of those dudes. It was John Clayton and it was Mort with the Mort report and all that. Dude, it was John Clayton that gave you and told you what he heard from the locker room, from the practice field, and from all of these different places. So shout out to the godfather of information. You know what I mean? John Clayton out here. See ya.
I want to add one more thing to that. The greatest story I ever heard from him, listening to him on the thing, on the sports radio, was the guy asked him, "Hey, John, do you still have all your notebooks and legal pads before the computer and the technology days?" Because he never really, he never really was a technology guy, right? And he refused to do it because it's just not how he did things. He's like, "Do you still have your notepads from back when you were at, in Pittsburgh and all that?" He's like, "Yep, all the legal pads, all in the database." His database in his head and his database on all of his legal pads. Mm-hmm. That's just crazy. So shout out to him and RIP John Clayton. So, hey, moment of silence real quick to get rid of that. So the slap heard around the world, dog.
That shit didn't really come through, bro. Damn, I had that shit queued up and everything, bro. Man, I'm disappointed myself.
Fucked up. I thought you were better than that.
My producing skills, that's what I'm saying. My producing skills is not up to par right now. I'm just a radio personality, not a producer.
Yeah, see, you gotta get better. Man, I'm disappointed. I'm fucking with you. I know you'll make up for it. The slap heard round the world, dog. So like I referenced to earlier, homie put out a tutorial on IG for everybody out there about his take on this. And we were texting back and forth. The funniest thing was I literally walked in the door. Turned on the TV, and it was already on that channel, because I think it was the same channel as the basketball games were on or whatever. It was all on the channel. I turned it on, and it was the Oscars, and I was like, fuck, there's got to be something. There's got to be baseball or something.
Nobody watching this. Yeah, get out of here.
I hit the last button just to see what other channel I was looking at, and then I got a glimpse of like Will Smith, and I'm a Will Smith fan, so I was like, oh shit, I gotta go back. Hit it back, and as soon as I hit it back, that's when it went censored. So I was like right on time to do it. And then I got on Twitter and saw the meme, or saw this stuff going on. I was like, holy hell. What the hell was that? Real or fake? Real quick before we get into it, your first thought, was it real or was it fake? First thought, Rudy, did you see it?
I did see it. I think it was real.
Homie, first thought, real or fake?
Yo, when you first texted me, I was like, it was real. I just didn't know the hit was real. I just didn't know if it was for play or not.
Well, that didn't answer my question. So
no, the hit was real. He really hit him.
Right.
So
I thought it was staged. I thought it was like play fake, right? Holy cow. But now going into whatever day it is, Tuesday, like a day and a half, 2 days and a half later or whatever.
Yeah.
I just realized, and I saved this for the show, homie. I didn't want to tell you earlier. Good. I saved this for the show. We were talking about you put out the tutorial, mad respect, good stuff to listen to there. You're right. The hit was fake. And I just noticed, did you see Chris Rock actually pull back a little bit after he got slapped? Like, I thought, he played it off cool. But you saw him there, and I finally realized that he actually, after the slap went down, he turned and he kind of pulled his right arm down a little bit and made a little bit of a fist, kind of like, oh shit, this dude's for real. So I didn't even realize that it was actually real, even after the apologies and all that came out today, until like halfway through today. And I saw a clip and I was like, oh shit, he really did hit him. And then he was like, oh, Chris Rock really was ready to throw down and set his feet.
Yeah, the homie.
I don't know if you guys noticed that or not.
The homie household TV is not tuned into the Oscars, right? So, I
bet it was after that.
Nobody's household.
Exactly.
Nobody's household is tuned in. So it's okay he did what he did in that sense because nobody watches that mess.
So I get the text from Sticks. This dude's hits me, and I go, "Let me look at this." So the first way I see it is how he sent it to me. And I go, ooh, damn, you slapped the hell out of that boy. Now, I still didn't know context. But 3-4 seconds later, once my man, Fresh Prince, sits down and starts yelling, then I know what it is. That's exactly when I know that this was not play. Because once you...
I thought it was more of that. I thought it was more of a show.
If you thought it was fake at first, once he sat back down after casually walking across the stage and walking back to his seat and yelling out what he said, that's not something somebody would yell out on national TV if this was play. It would be a little bit more scripted than that, so it didn't need to get bleeped. I knew that it was real in that exact moment. And I looked over at my wife and I said, we missing something on TV right now. And we immediately turned it and I watched it 8-9 more times. And that was I'm just like Chris Rock said, this is the biggest thing in TV ever. That be number one, because it was live. And a legitimate, real reaction to somebody who made a move. Whatever move they made, he made a move, good or bad. He made that move, and that was real. That wasn't like something set up Andy Kaufman on Johnny Carson or something like that with Jerry the King Lawler back in the day. There wasn't that. You don't know about that. That's all crazy. But this was legitimate, real animos.
How great was that line from Chris Rock? He said, greatest night in television history. How do you come up? How do you get socked in the mouth and then have the wit to come back with 2 lines? He said, Will Smith just slapped the shit out of me. And then came back with, this is the greatest night in TV history. How do you think that clearly? I'm impressed with that. I'm impressed with his comeback.
Well, especially after I've seen it a few times where, he got smacked in the mouth and then it was like he turned and he pulled his arm like he was going to throw a punch. I might have to fight this guy.
Yeah.
So that's when I realized oh shit, this is real after I seen that.
Way to take a punch.
Way to take a punch. 100% real.
Nice,
100%
solid chin.
Mad respect to pulling that out.
So do we wish he would have thrown that right? Do we wish he would have thrown it?
No.
And defended himself? Because I like the idea that he played it cool, because what he did do was, by playing it cool, he put all the foolery, if you will, on Will Smith, right? Will Smith became the fool. Will Smith is the one that's embarrassed. Jada Pinkett should be embarrassed. They're all embarrassed, right, by the fact that Will did that. Had Chris Rock defended himself and thrown that punch, then Chris Rock, it would have been who gets flagged in a fight in the NFL, right? But what bothers me about Chris Rock is that dude's a father, man. He's a father. He's got to go home to his kids and tell his kids why he took a punch and didn't defend himself. And hopefully he finds a way to use it as, I was the bigger man. Hopefully he finds a way to say, I didn't want to embarrass my family. Hopefully he finds a way to defend him, to teach his kids out of that moment. But I'm not taking a punch. and not swinging back. Like the more my mouth hurts, the tighter my fist is going to ball up. I'll tell you right now, I'm not taking it. So, I mean,
and look. So I'm sitting there going, okay, look, we can't make ourselves look crazy out here, because he has already made himself look real bad right here. Okay. And if I go ahead and on his walk back going, you know what I'm saying, throw the forearm shiver to the low back, you know what I mean, like WWE style, and get at him, we're making all the brothers look crazy out here, right? I can't do that. That doesn't have scruples. There's no decorum in that. But I am a certified professional shit talker with a microphone as a weapon regularly. 100%. This is what I do. The only thing, the biggest problem I have is I would have made the Oscars shut off the whole feed, because I would have been like, oh yeah, and look, hey, Fresh Prince, you know what I mean? I would have went and talked shit. I better not know anything about you or your family tree or anything, because it would have been aired out right there. I would have diminished him as small as because I'm not about to fight you. We grown dudes. What are we doing out here fighting in public, even bigger than that, on national TV? How crazy do we look if we're not getting paid? We're not in the WBO, right?
Doesn't that open up the opportunity, like you said, for Chris Rock to give his side of that at that point? I mean, he had the opportunity to de-escalate the situation, or to, I guess, get his jab or get his slap back by that opportunity. I 100% agree with you on that, homie, because
Chris Rock,
if he had any opportunity to do it, that was his time to do it. Whether they had a time frame to put on the next film clip or whatever, he could have just went off and said,
even if it didn't get televised, he could have just did it for the audience and just because if you go back and look at it for a hot second, he says, well, I could, and he pulled himself back. He said, I could. It comes out of his mouth like, I could roast you right now, but I'm not.
And Will goes back to his seat, and what does he say? He just very calmly goes, it was a G.I. Jane joke. Like, that's all he said. Like, I mean, like I don't know. I hope for the father in him and the father in me, like, I hope somewhere along the lines, like, he makes that right by his kids. And I'm not saying he's wrong. I'm just saying that, you got Will Smith's punk kid, up there talking smack on Twitter about this is how we do. Yeah. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm hoping that, like, at the end of the day, like, I didn't hear that. As a father, yeah, he's not hardcore. He's hard. I just want, for my kid, as a father, for me to Chris Rock, like, that's where I want him to. But my thought on it, I got two thoughts real quick, and I think I'm running out of battery with this hour and a half podcast. But,
yeah, no shit.
I want to say number one that I noticed just the Oscars is a roast. This is what bothers me the most about it. Like Ricky Gervais and even Amy Schumer, like, talking about how they hired 3 women because it's still cheaper than 1 man. Like, it was a roast, like, from the beginning. Like, that's Oscars is a roast.
Yes.
So Jada's there with a bald head and she's getting roasted. Like, of course she's a target. Now, I want to say this.
Go ahead.
Jada's beautiful. She's beautiful. She's beautiful with a bald head. I don't care. Like, did you see the pictures of her on the red carpet?
I agree 100%.
Like, she rocks that bald head. She is as hot as it gets. Like, what? Yeah, what? Who, what?
The movie Set It Off. Isn't that in the movie?
Yeah, I mean, go back.
Yeah.
I love it. That's my favorite movie.
She's beautiful now. And if there's a woman anywhere in Hollywood, anywhere that can rock that bald head, like, she should never grow her hair back or cover that with a wig, because that woman was stunning. She is stunning. So, he joked with her, but like, I mean, it's still a roast. And along those lines, like, what bothers me about it is that, like, you can't cross that line of the stage kind of thing, the fourth dimension, whatever. We can't have that. We can't have comedians. You see them on TikTok and stuff all the time. We can't have comedians in nightclubs now getting socked because they get into a little, verbal altercation with a heckler.
I was about to say, thank you. Let's go.
We can't have that. And so, Will Smith has got to be more mature. Will Smith has got to handle his business. He could have gone backstage. He's got a full-on backstage pass, and he could have whooped Chris Rock back in the dressing room.
That's right.
But by showing people, and I'm curious to watch on TikTok because you see all the time, these little 90-second clips of comedians getting into it with hecklers and roasting hecklers. If those dudes starts coming up on stage, I'm gonna blame Will Smith for that. Like, we can't be doing that. We have to have more. You used the word earlier, decorum. We have to use more decorum. We have to be in control of ourselves. And if Jada,
comedians be taking way too many liberties, though. Like, everybody can't feel a certain way, right?
It's their job, man. It's their job.
I get it. But if your job, makes me feel some kind of way, then it might come down to this that just happened, because I guarantee you, and I said this in the editorial that I gave out, if my woman look at me like I'm a sucker for even a half a second for not defending her honor, do you not think that my household rating is going to slide down a whole lot? Oh, y'all got women, wives, all of this. If we don't take out the damn trash, in a timely fashion, or if we say something slick that they don't think is funny in a time, in that moment, we might not get none. Or we might just start up a whole powder keg that we did not intend because we just thought we was going to be funny in that. You know what I'm saying? So if I'm Will, I'm not trying to go home and face, why didn't you do something or say something because this dude said this on national TV to me.
Right. Exactly.
Doing good and well that this is not, my haircut is not by my own personal doing. Is a condition
neither's mine.
Neither is mine.
Or mine.
Yeah.
Jada
rocks it better than I do.
Yeah, absolutely she does. Absolutely. I agree. She does for sure. So homie, why would it be okay for her to why would it be okay for her to expect that on national TV to take care of the situation and not behind the scenes and be like, all right, Will could have sat there. Will, don't shake your fucking head at me. Will could have sat there and been like, all right, cool. He could have said, keep my wife's name out of your fucking mouth from sitting in the chair without being violent about it.
Dude, you ever been walking in public at an amusement park, in the grocery store, or somewhere? You go down to go get a can of peas, and your wife go this way and said, "I'll meet you back," and I'm gonna go, and she gonna go get a couple loaves of bread or whatever. And next thing you know, some random dude who don't know nothing about nothing is like, "Hey, what's up, Miss Lady?" Or, like I said, these things can happen anywhere, right? But if your woman think for 1 second that you do not have the capacity to defend her honor, dude, they don't want you. Dude, we are hunter gatherer, cavemen.
First of all, to answer your question, no, my wife has never done that because I don't have one of those. Second of all, I don't know what question you're asking.
Yes, she did.
But shit, right. But why what you're getting at is, okay, yeah, your wife goes over here, you go over here, and she comes back and says,
"Bro, it's the same reason a dude."
I didn't even get to finish my question.
I'm gonna give you a second, but it's the same reason a female will date a dude that's a football player over a dude that's in the science club, bro. It's that simple.
That doesn't have anything to do with it. Go ahead, Rudy. He doesn't know what I'm talking about.
Jada would, if Jada is satisfied with what Will did to defend her honor and stand up for her, I guarantee you would have been just as happy had Will gone in the back and beat Chris Rock's ass in the dressing room. I think that the reason why Will got up and walked over there was because he lost rational thought. He probably on his way over there probably thought twice about it. But by the time you're already walking over there, what's he going to do? You may as well throw that punch, right? So honestly, like I think because
you're not going to have a conversation at that point.
But look at what, right, sir, I'm sorry, but you should apologize to my wife. That's not what he's going to say. But no, he didn't think it through. He just strode up there and threw a punch. But look at what happened. Look at how many more, like Chris Rock would have made that G.I. Jane joke, and that would have been it. That literally would have been it. No one gives a shit. Nobody cares about Jada's hair. Like I said, she's a beautiful woman. Nobody cares, right? So he would have made that joke. They would have gone on. Will would have won his best actor. Everything would have been great, and it would have been no big deal. And Will could have called Chris Rock later on and said, hey, man, or even whatever. But he made that issue, and then now all of a sudden, they are the butt of everyone's jokes, like Jada's infidelities or her open marriage or whatever, like all that stuff. So like what you think in the heat of the moment, and I would want to teach my kids this as a father. What you think the action in the heat of the moment is the one that's going to win you the war winds up being the one that loses it for you. Will Smith, in my opinion, loses. He's the loser in this fight, because of all of what else is going on. And even us are talking about this, and this isn't even our area of expertise, if you will. So if we have an expertise. But I mean, so I think like at the end of the day, I think really like he caused himself, his wife, and their family a lot more embarrassment and humiliation than if he would have just let it go and went in the back room and smacked Chris Rock in private. We all still would have found out about it.
He got caught with the double-edged sword. He got caught with the double-edged sword because he felt like for his man card to be protected as a husband, that he should make a move right now. But on the other side of the sword, that sharper side says, I am so disappointed. You embarrassed me in public. So absolutely. It is all he was in a lose-lose situation. I don't know. And I think that, to be honest, I just think that, if you guys have followed Will Smith recently, he's kind of been like on a semi, Kyrie Irving and Kanye West kind of mission, like he's wilding out a little bit.
Well, wasn't he doing like all those little 100-day, like,
he thinks he's fucking Bear Grylls all of a sudden. Like he's willing to risk his life all of a sudden. Like his life doesn't mean nothing. Like he doesn't have a gang of bread with kids and a wife, no matter what that situation is. Nobody really knows, but he's out here wilding out, right? So in some forms, I think that he felt like it was a card that his man card was pulled a little bit, and whether or not him and his wife are on super solid ground or not, he felt like he needed to assure that in some way. Now, whether that works for him, because word on the street is that they out here, like Rudy talked about earlier, they're out here on social. Their son is posted up on social. They're talking about, you can't take people from West Philly and Baltimore nowhere. And they out there dancing at the after party with the Oscar in their hand like it's nothing, getting jiggy.
They should have gone home. They should have gone home. Like,
why the police didn't pull up? Why the police?
So that's what I was going to.
Security didn't pull up.
I got something for that too. Didn't Adrian Peterson get thrown in jail for touching his wife on the plane because it was assault?
Oh yeah, so, they took him. They took
in LA, right?
Yeah, they took him.
You guys can hear me okay? Because my earphones died.
Yeah, I got you.
Hey guys, let me jump in real quick. I just gotta tell you, I gotta get out. My battery's gonna die. Like I'm literally like on like 1% left. So
we appreciate you
miss Doc Hockey.
Hey, I'm sorry, I can't finish. But listen, thanks again, you guys. I appreciate. What's that?
You're gonna miss Dr. Hockey, man.
Dr. Hockey? I'm gonna miss it. But hey, listen, thank you guys. I appreciate it. I really got a jet. Like it's gonna die. I don't want to just go poof and I'm out. So I
appreciate you.
At least
see ya. Thanks.
Thank you. I'll see you guys later.
Yeah, we'll chat later.
All right, bye.
That was Rudy, baby. Let's go.
Back in
the Cleveland Browns
man.
Insider.
For sure, dude, man. That was so in depth, man. But would you? I'm tell you, man. You sit up here, you gonna go home and listen to your woman
No. I want to know the insight on why we got background noise. You got something, or is that Rudy still trying to get off?
No, I thought I heard somebody when I was talking going, like we was at church. Yeah.
The wife. I know. They said that Chris Rock didn't press charges or whatever, but didn't they say in LA like they have to press charges? Maybe it's different if it's like a domestic thing or whatever, because that's why Adrian Peterson got put in jail that day. So Will Smith.
I'm not that in touch with the laws like that.
I know. I don't
enough to know, but weird to me. I mean, I just didn't understand how after that happened, event security did not roll up on dude and haul him to the back. They just let him sit there calmly. I thought that was whack.
You didn't even see any security like anywhere near when that happened.
You seen the footage of during commercial. He's walking around. Yeah, there's another video that somebody took from the upper level during commercial, and he's just walking around like he talked about in his little acceptance speech, dapping up Denzel Washington, hanging out with Bradley Cooper. You know what I mean? So there was no response to what happened. So is that what happens to individuals who, you know what I'm saying, who at work? And I'm going to put it to you like this. I've been at work with people who are hostile before, and nobody came through. You're
trying to set me off, aren't you?
Nobody came through to defend me while I'm sitting up here defending and putting myself in the line between this person and their ambitions and this company. All I'm doing is in the middle, right? So I know about this, and I'm at work. So if I'm Chris Rock, I'm at work, and you want to come up and you want to try to take off on me while I'm at work, you're a sucker, first of all, because you know I can't do anything. And I'm on national TV at that. Man, shout out to Japan and Australia for making sure we got unedited footage.
For real, though.
Because they would have hid this like it was damn Area 51, bro. I'm trying to tell you, they would have never showed us nothing like this was Roswell, like this was aliens, bro. We wouldn't have never seen anything. Man, they tried to play us.
You know what really sucks is we need the producer on here right now, Chris Donovan, because you know that motherfucker watched the whole thing and got all the scoops and everything, because you said you weren't really watching or paying attention until that happened. So the whole show, as we discussed earlier, was all about roasting people, right? So earlier in the seg, there was with Regina, Amy, and the other girl that they were all up there, or one of them, Wanda Sykes, yeah. One of them pulled a card where they were pulling up all some guys and saying, hey, if I call your name, you need to come get a COVID check, blah, 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 blah. And one of the names was Will Smith. So with that being said, if that was a segment and Will Smith was being called up and she said something, I don't even know the whole.
All of this was aired. You're saying though?
Yeah,
this was all aired.
So
okay.
Some of the other guys came up. I don't have them all in front of me. I don't remember who it was, but I remember watching it because I was at work. So I had it on for the last hour or whatever before when it started. So my point is, Will was called out to like come up, and then there was a joke made about Will and Jada on that time.
Mm-hmm.
And so Will didn't go up there, but there was still a joke made. So what happened in that instance? Did someone get upset, and did Jada get upset? And why did she go up there and smack the shit out of Wanda Sykes or whoever was up there? You know what I'm saying?
It's not like I said, I think that, like I said, I could look at it from so many different situations. It was like the way I feel about it is Will Smith had to do it because his wife was right there in his face. You know what I'm saying? He had to do it. Plus, he giggled when the joke was first given out.
Right.
But by the time he looked over and caught that look, it was like, ooh, you in trouble.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Face at that
point. I think it was one of those.
At the same time, it could have been, just, hey, I'm just supporting the host at the
comedian
same time.
That's up there. Yeah.
You know, I'm just supporting him because we're friends. I'm sure they're friends, medium friends at least, right? I'm sure you would have smacked me a few times or whatever back in the day. I'm sure I deserve to be smacked a couple times.
Hey, look, man. Hey, look, violence ain't the answer.
Okay, there you go.
Violence ain't the answer, but I'll tell you damn what. It's a damn statement. It makes a damn statement.
It did make a statement. And
that's the one thing. And like I said, if I'm not the one to be played with, if I feel like I'm being played with, I'm not having this. So I feel what Will's talking about, but I also feel that Chris Rock being on his task, you don't cross the boundary of coming into my task. And then, like I said, the only thing that he did wrong is he should have just turned it into a Netflix special from there on out and be like, no, y'all gonna have to start playing music and everything and cut the feed and everything, because I'm about to roast this dude for everything that it's worth. Because that is the skill that I have. He wanted to use this physicality. I am going to roast him in front of everybody who he thinks admires him, even if it gets cut off national TV. All of these actors and all of that you playing tough for, I'm about to roast you in front of all of these dudes. I don't care if I'm saying stuff that's true, but I'm about to dog you with every joke that I got, because that is my profession.
100% agree. And that's where Chris Rock was the stand-up guy for doing that, in my opinion, and just, taking it like a champ, and dealing with it. However, oh shit, I had a fucking good statement and I fucking forgot.
Chris Rock coming up here. I already looked up Chris Rock tickets to Seattle. He's coming up here in October, but by then it's gonna be washed. You know what I'm saying? But it might give him time to curate some nice, material about this. His next Netflix special is going out of here.
He's definitely gonna allude to what happened, and he will probably say stuff about how he got smacked up by Will Smith for making some dumb joke and blah blah blah.
Or if Will Smith apologizes, calls him personally, and apologizes. Oh yeah, that's getting out too. Oh yeah. You know what? He snuffed me on national TV. Everybody knows that. I wasn't even prepared for that, and he called back and started crying on the phone. I apologize. Oh yeah, it's gonna go big.
He can do that.
Everything is all fair game now.
Still, the wildest thing too was G.I. Jane was actually on TV that night.
Dude, I couldn't believe that was.
How wild is that?
When you text me that, I was like, "Get the hell out of here!"
I went look channels, and I'm like,
I thought you was bullshit.
I thought I was too, and I looked at it. I was like, "No way, is this real right now?"
But see, at the same time, I don't know. We'll overreact because it wasn't a good joke. First of all, I mean, it wasn't a good joke. No, you know what I mean? It wasn't like, it was just a joke that bombed. It wasn't like everybody was like.
he could have said that to he could have said that to Bruce Willis or Wesley Snipes or my guy Billy Hoyle,
Woody Harrelson.
Yeah, I can't remember right now. My favorite movie of all time. The audio version is in full effect right now.
That's because you can't hear Jimmy.
Billy Hoyle.
You can't hear Jimmy.
Yeah, I can hear him.
Oh, you be listening, but you can't hear Jimmy.
Is that 10 feet? Is that regulation?
Let me test it for you.
See, that's the shit right there. See, that is the shit.
Oh, God, man. Yo, I'm assuming that you play better when you angry too. Yes. Oh man, that's great. Hey, if anybody know what we talking about, man, I'm telling you, this is the audio version of White Man Can't Jump right here, man. This is right on the scene, man. Sidney Dean and Billy Hoyle in your ear hole right now. And we talk enough spit and enough game to make y'all understand what the hell we talking about while we kicking these facts in between time.
And it's the 30-year anniversary of that movie, bro.
Yes,
I'm gonna have to watch it tonight. I think I just made my nightly plans before I go pick up the boys tomorrow at the airport. Damn, I might have to tune that up, dog. Tune that up.
You remember the good old days? The good old days when there was DVDs and they'd be like anniversary collections, and you can go and buy it for prosperity. That's not even a thing no more. If it was like a 30-year anniversary and DVDs, I'd go run out and get the DVD box set or something. Right. You know what I'm saying? Of why even can't now this whole streaming situation is whack, bro. I don't like it.
Dude, I've been saying how many times you heard me talk about that ESPN streaming bullshit? That's the exact same thing. The streaming shit is trash. I'd much rather go buy a fucking DVD, especially now they got to be like $5. How come we can't find the White Man Can't Jump for $5 and get a deal? Because we definitely need those, bro. Definitely need those.
I'm trying to tell you, man, they're selling us an inferior product because it's served up online for, you know what I'm saying, and they charge you. Me and M were talking the other day, and we was like, there's got to be a better way. If I think of a movie that I want to watch, what did I used to do 20-something years ago? I would go to Blockbuster. Right. I would go to the video store.
Maybe 30 years ago, but yeah.
Okay, but nowadays I can't do that, right? No. So it'll say if I go do that right now, it'll say rent it for $3.99 or you can buy it for $14.99, right? On my TV. Mm-hmm. I don't have nothing physical.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They need to what happened to Netflix being Netflix? You remember when Netflix had all the movies? Because now the thing is, I go look for a movie and I can't find it. It don't exist.
Because there's fucking 4 billion other movies on there.
Of stupid shit. And now, back in the day, Netflix was a video store. They would send you the DVD in the mail of everything. They had everything, bro. Now that's not everything. What happened to all the stuff that they had?
Are we old and just not into that or what? But like, why do I have to go to a streaming service, wait for the fucking thing to
multiple streaming services? Multiple streaming services, because it might not be on that one.
Yeah, and to keep going and going, or I could just roll down the street to a fucking DVD store,
$2 rental,
grab some fucking goobers, grab some fucking Raisinets, grab some fucking Gobstoppers, whatever, and
I might pick up a whole bunch. I might pick up a couple of movies that I ain't even interested in just because the cover looks cool. I might just educate myself.
Exactly.
The whole video store experience was dope, and they just ruined all of it because now I'm just clicking and going up and down through the different menus, and I go, oh, this one's whack. So I get out of Netflix, and then I go to Hulu. I go through Hulu. Oh, Hulu's whack. I go get out of there, and then I go to Apple Plus. Apple Plus is whack. Strange ass movies on Apple Plus. If anybody has Apple Plus, you already know that movies are strange as hell. Some mental deranged shit going on there, all of them. But anyway, and then I go to Peacock. Peacock, I don't even know. I couldn't even imagine trying to find a basketball game or a live sport. You remember Hulu has live sports? It's a live.
They don't have live.
They ain't got shit. They lying.
They lying motherfuckers. Well, we ain't gonna be getting no Hulu sponsorships. I'll tell you that right now. And if we do, then we resent that comment.
I'll tell you, man, there's something to be had about cable,
dude.
Bro.
How do you always see the little memes of people going in, or the Twitter accounts of the 70s and 80s where it's like, oh, you know, back in the day you had you rolled to the store, grabbed a movie and did this, said, hey mom, can I go get a movie and come back and watch it? Dude, I can't
even tell you.
I'm old school, bro. I would much rather do that. I would spend way more time watching movies if I could go pick one out at the store, the video store, instead of flipping through and doing it. By the time I flip through 2 or 3 minutes of trying to find a movie, I'm done, bro.
Yeah, it's already watched. But if I can hold the cover and flip over the back and read the premise to the movie, it could be one of them. You remember back in the day, everybody had this phase when they would watch dumb slasher movies that they never heard of in the movie theater.
Oh, okay? Yeah, 100%.
If it was with your girl or somebody, you always go to the thriller slasher killer section and you pick up one of those movies that you never heard. You remember Faces of Death, bro? Oh my God. Hey, if y'all don't know Faces of Death, and supposedly it was real, but Faces of Death, you had to get Faces of Death. You had to get a Bruce Lee movie. You know what I'm saying? Back in the day, you had to get like a John Candy movie. You had to get a, you know what I'm saying, Eddie Murphy. And then you had to get a new release. And then you would just binge these on a, you know what I'm saying, 3-day rental.
You know how I came across my favorite movie of all time? Was rolling through Blockbuster, picking up a fucking movie. My favorite movie of all time is The Last Boy Scout with Bruce Willis and Damon Wayans.
Damon Wayans.
And you know how I fucking picked that movie up? Exactly like you said. Picked up the cover. Fuck, who knows how old I was at that time. I probably wasn't even old enough to rent it because I think it is obviously rated R. But fucking picked it up and I was like, oh, this looks like a cool cover. Not Bruce Willis. I love Bruce Willis. He looks like a cool guy. Yep, David Wayans. There's a brother in there too. Got to get that one. You know, hey, pick it up, dude. I love that movie. Fucking greatest movie of all time. Never would have came across it. Kids can't come across shit like that. They can't come across White Men Can't Jump no more.
No.
Because they have to go through the streaming service to figure out which movie they want to watch.
Because the only thing they're looking at is the top 10. Everybody only looks at what's in the top 10, right? So that's not what I talked about earlier. When everybody wants to take a side, they give you a top 10 or the most popular or whatever the case may be. And everybody only watched that. So I don't fool with none of this, but everybody watching Bridgerton, damn Succession, Yellowstone, which I do recommend. That's my
Yellowstone
shit right
is
there.
good.
Yellowstone is some hood ass shit, boy. Yellowstone's, damn Black Mirror, Squid Games, all of this only because it's in the top 10. Right?
Yeah, so they're not even like, and that's probably because it's the first thing that pops up because all of a sudden everything's popping up, so that's in the top 10. Let me get on the top 10 and take out the top 10. Let me go find some real movies up in there. Like
I want to watch something.
I want to know something that's different, right? Like I don't want to watch the new shit that everybody's hyped about. I want to watch some average shit so I can actually be entertained because the average shit is the real shit, right? The fucking Money Heist on Netflix. Have you seen that?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, that shit is dope. And I came across that because I was flipping through it and I was like, ooh, this looks interesting. Barely made it through the first 2 episodes.
Right. It's
I ain't gonna lie. Barely made it through the first 2 episodes. This is during COVID shit, right?
Yeah.
But once I got through the first 2, bro, I couldn't turn that fucking shit off. That's the shit I want to watch.
That's what I'm saying. But see, and still, sometimes I just get nostalgic too, bro. I'll be sitting here with M sometimes on the weekend when the kids ain't here, and I just be like, I just want to watch an old school movie that we both know all the words to, you know what I mean? And we just want to sit up there and watch a cool ass movie. And then you go and I go, hey, what about, I can't remember the last one we said, but we found it. And we were like, oh, let's go. We found, and as soon as we clicked it, it said buy that shit for $3.99. This shit's 40 years old, cuz.
And they really had a price on it?
Yeah. I'm sitting up here like, yo, look, but you on TNT, you can play, I ain't even mad at this, but you can play Star Wars every weekend. You can play Bad Boys every weekend. You can play Grown Ups every weekend.
Version, though,
yeah,
right?
yeah. It's the same cycle of movies on TNT, USA, TBS on the weekend, and they always have the same setup of movies. Knocked Up, Bad Boys Trilogy, Rush Hour. I mean, come on, dog. I done seen these. I own some of these movies, man. Come on, man. I want to see some wild shit every now and again that I only saw once, maybe. You know what I mean? It's only so many times I could watch.
Do you remember that you want to peep out again and just chill and check it out? You're not going to find those movies now. I guarantee you, if there's so many damn different movies on there, like you're going through and you're like I said, I just want to watch the average movie. I don't want to watch. These kids these days aren't going to find a Dazed and Confused. They're not going to find a Varsity Blues. You know what I'm saying? They're not going to find the real shit. The real
Saturday Night Lights.
They're not going to find The Wood. Right?
Oh my God. Okay, so look, here we go. Do you want to know what's in the top 10 on Netflix right now?
Jesus.
Okay, I already said one. Bridgerton. Is It Cake is number 2. Number 3, Blade Runner. That might be interesting. I don't know. Inventing Anna, which I saw, and it's wild. But I wouldn't say that that's dope. But that's one that I guarantee everybody's watching. Good Girls, The Last Kingdom. It looks like a Viking movie. Pieces of Her, The Adam Project. The Adam Project, I do condone. If you have Netflix, I would say you should watch Adam Project. It's a good movie. Bad Vegan, and a cartoon movie called Human Resources. This is the top 10. This is what everybody in the world is watching. Okay, you just said the
top 10, and I would not be interested in any of those just by the name. Well, you said Yellowstone was in there because you skipped Yellowstone, right?
Because the Yellowstone ain't in there.
Oh,
Yellowstone's not in here. No, this is the top 10 on Netflix.
Yeah, okay, no. I would have been interested in not a damn one of those, bro. Not a damn one, especially at $15.98 or whatever the fuck they charge now. I cancel that shit, by the way. So Netflix ain't gonna get us. They ain't gonna get a sponsor from Netflix either because I'm gonna cancel their ass. See, that's the shit, bro. Like, I mean, I get it. There's probably a little bit of knowledge into those movies that people have know about the movie that actually that's coming out that way, but. No, I just want to be intrigued and I want to just enjoy it and just be like, oh, cool. They're going to blow some people up. They're going to fight for their culture or their life.
I just feel like watching Days of Thunder every now and again.
See?
You know what I'm saying? I just feel like watching Mad Max every now and again. Hey, those are the kind of movies I'm talking about.
Right. And when you go to let's say you want to go watch Days of Thunder. It's going to take you 15 to 20 minutes just to get there.
Yeah.
And then by the time you get there, you're going to be like, nah, I'm good. I'm going to check out. Or you could just roll up to the old school video only or video store, not video only, but video store only. In the local hood and pick it up and roll back to the house with a 6-pack of fucking OE and shit and have a good time.
Because I just want to watch Who's Harry Crumb every now and again.
You know what, motherfucker? We got a business proposal.
I just want to watch, you know what I'm saying, Spies Like Us every now and again.
Right?
I just want to watch the Blues Brothers every now. I went and looked at the damn Blues Brothers. Why are they charging for the Blues Brothers, bro? They're charging for the Blues Brothers.
Oh, man.
This is crazy, man. It's wild out here.
Who's gonna be the genius that opens up a movie store again? DVDs, because everything plays DVDs or Blu-ray or whatever now, right? I guess Blu-ray, all PlayStations, all Xboxes.
Well, I think right? I think it's because nobody has everybody's got rid of their equipment now. That's the problem. Because I said that the other day. I was like, you know what? I said, if you opened up a $2 video rental place right now, you could probably make a killing. But who the hell has a DVD player?
Yeah, well, I do. But by the way,
somebody got a PlayStation or an Xbox or something like that they can
I actually have a real DVD player.
But so do I.
But hey, the real question is, who has a VHS player that's willing to?
I wish I did.
Who's willing to throw it out to Sticks and a Nos Big Homie because we're in the market. We need a VHS player because I know I do.
I just threw away my tapes like
Did you really?
A year and a half ago. Yeah, man. All my Bruce Lee tapes. I had all my Bruce Lee tapes.
That's how fucking old I am, bro.
All the stuff I used to record off the TV with the commercials, you know what I'm saying? Because see, kids don't know nothing about this. You could just record it off the TV. Then you can watch it as many times as you want. You used to sit up there and pause it when the commercials came on if you was good at editing, if you call that editing. Yeah, but we were about that, man. It's a different time, man. It's a different time, a totally different place. Everything is monetized now. Yeah, I mean, they've gotten rid of the the equipment, and now it's just straight to you. So now, like for instance, if I wanted to open up a $2 streaming service, you know how many people I gotta go through to get copyrights and all of this stuff for a service. This is millions of dollars, man. These dudes, look who owns this stuff. This is Apple. This is, you know what I'm saying, Disney. And on NBC Universal, these is heavyweight situations to have all of these licenses.
All these motherfuckers that have money, they can't even fucking get a real streaming service that actually fucking works.
Yeah, they should don't work.
That's what I'm saying.
Peacock is horrible.
I don't care about the digitality or whatever, the picture quality or whatever that much.
Me neither.
Where I want to like sit through 20 minutes of trying to get it to load.
Or
give me the VHS, baby.
Yeah, man. I don't know, man. I said, I was telling my daughter today, and I was like, man, sometimes I be thinking about, man, 1989 was like I talk about it sometimes like it was like 7 years ago. Dude, that was a long ass time ago.
Like, Dad, you're old.
It's a long ass time ago, but it's good to keep all of those values. But again, at the same time, like I tell you, we got to stay current with with these technologies and whatnot, because if not, we gonna look like we looked at our grandparents and we're like, damn, they don't know how to set the clock on a damn microwave. You know, so we got to stay up on it, man, and see what all pops off with all of this, man. Because apparently this new Oculus situation is about to take over the world, bro.
It is not.
All of these experts are saying once this NFT
it's shit gimmick, that's fake,
bro. That's what I'm saying. All of it's tied in, but it's gonna be real. You know what's gonna make it real? All the dumbass people buying it.
Yep.
All of that shit. It's gonna be. You seen the movie Ready Player One?
No, I've heard of it, but it's
okay.
It's similar, I believe. Yeah.
If you go find on one of your services Ready Player One, word to God, a professional person who one of the money guys, and I love listening to Bloomberg and all of these money guys who know about how the world rotates, what really makes the world move, right? And he said all of this Oculus and this NFT and this Bitcoin shit, we looking at it like it's play money and fake money. But in a minute, you know who's going to make it real? It's us, because it's real ass people, Madonna, Snoop Dogg, and blah, blah, buying property in a fake cyber world. So they're making it real. Watch Ready Player One, and you'll know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, but doesn't the Oculus remind you of the Nintendo glove where you could shoot it out and do all that?
Yeah, it does remind me of that. It does remind me of that.
I guess that's a start. Like,
but they're talking about there's like, that's why I invested in Ethereum, right? Because Bitcoin is cool. It is what it is. I mean, nothing's going to replace cash money. Nothing's going to replace gold. Nothing's going to replace silver as something that people says, this is real. This is money, right? So I don't think Bitcoin has the legs. That's just me. I don't know. I could be wrong in 50 years. Who cares? Because I probably won't be here. But Ethereum is how they're selling all of these NFTs. The Ethereum technology is how all of these dummies are out here selling cartoon avatars for millions of dollars. Right.
But it's going to sell for millions of dollars for right now. So if you're not in it right now.
Yeah, but if you had Pete Rose rookie card back in the day, right?
Do you want a digital Pete Rose rookie card? Or do you want the real rookie card?
No. I'm going to bring it to your face right now. If you had the Pete Rose rookie card in the early 70s, it might have been the late 60s, but I'm thinking it's the early 70s. If you had the Pete Rose rookie card back in the day, you probably was like, yeah, I don't know what this is. I mean, it is what it is, right? Or if you had right now, let's be super real. If you had the junior rookie card, the most rare version, I don't know if it's the Don Russell, the Upper Deck. I think it's the Upper Deck with him just him holding the bat on his shoulder. Yeah. I think that's the most expensive one. If you had that mint condition, primo, right? Yo, when you had it back in the day, if you first got it out of the pack, when you tore it open, you was like, oh yeah, I got Ken Griffey Jr. I don't know who this dude is yet, but here we go. Now, fast forward 40 years later, or 35 years later, or however many years later, now look, that thing might net you some cake. It's the same thing with this, the same game that these dudes are playing with these NFTs and all that. Now, I don't believe in no way of this little avatar of a peach being worth anything, because that's what these damn NFTs be looking like. They look like a damn cartoon drawing of Mario or something, and millions of dollars. That I don't believe in. I don't believe in none of this Top Shop, none of that. Give me the physical item. Because what am I supposed to do? Put it on my computer? Then what? Am I supposed to put it on a hard drive or what?
Put it on your cell phone that you have to fucking lose all the data to in about a year.
I can't even put it up on my wall. I can't do nothing. Nah. So you know what I'm saying? But the technology behind what makes all of that stuff work is through the Ethereum DeFi situation. And I'm all for that. So I got, I ain't got a whole lot of money. I ain't sitting up here talking like Gary V or none of these major money guys or nothing like that. But that's the stuff that makes things work. And these dudes are saying that this Oculus shit that Facebook has is the only thing that they have. He said that Facebook is about to be washed in 5 years. He said the only thing that Facebook is going to be eating off of is that Oculus, and that Oculus is going to turn into everything.
The Oculus turns into a
different world.
No, it creates a buffer for the next item, is what the Oculus does.
Well, they're talking about right now. They're saying that Facebook is already washed. If you have Facebook right now, they were saying because the kids, you have to remember who the world caters to, the kids, right? Because they're the next level of money. You know what I'm saying? They said the people that have Facebook right now are 40 and 50 and older, and they're washed, and they don't even care. They don't. Facebook can't even get money off of, or Meta can't get money off Facebook, the app, no more. Facebook is washed. It's like a damn photo album, basically, right now. It's nothing, right? But what they do have, they are light years ahead of the entire world in this virtual reality business. And if you about to be, we could be sitting here with damn Oculus on, none of this screen business that we got going on, and everybody can see what we see, and it could literally look like we're in the same studio together on Oculus. You at your crib, I'm at my crib, and that shit is reality now.
Right. Do you want to be wearing something on your face doing this right now for an hour, 2 hours?
What the fuck I look like? Hell no. I had glasses on my face under protest. I mean, if I wasn't blind, I wouldn't wear this shit. You know what I mean?
Oh, what the fuck? I feel it though. Man, I see it. I understand it a little bit, but man, it's some fucking wild shit, dude.
Final destination, man.
Oh, what the fuck? What the fuck? What kind of show did we just have?
Man, you got to throw one of these episodes together every now and again. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, what the hell's really happening? Nothing. You know what I mean? They're baseball's going to start with like a fizzle, unfortunately, because we're in
fucking fantasy baseball invite already, dude.
We're in a category of cats who care about baseball, and nobody under the age of 30 gives a shit about baseball.
Oh, they will after we fix it, just like we fix everything else, bro.
You know what I'm saying? So is NFL still running the world, and you know what I mean, and everything else, and we hit up on all of this stuff. That what I was thinking. I was thinking, man, one of us needs to get back on this wrestling shit. And we need to have like a WWE correspondent, like it just like tell us what really happened. And I don't want it to be me because I know I would get too deep.
I got us one.
I know I would get way too deep. I
don't know if I got us a couple of WWE correspondents. But that's funny because I was thinking about that the other day, as I watched Pat McAfee. I might just have to tune into WrestleMania 38 on Saturday and Sunday and watch my boy Pat McAfee in his match on Sunday against Austin Theory.
I don't even know who he's fighting. I know him, and he's not a wrestler, but
hey, It's starting to pop back off, brah.
Man, whatever happened to the big boss man? Whatever happened to the honky tonk man? Jake the Snake.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying? Hacksaw Jim Duggan. Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. You know what I'm saying? Tito Santana. Rick Martel. You remember the Mountie? Whatever happened to the Mountie? Yep. What about IRS? Erwin R. Shyster. You know what I'm saying? See, people don't remember all that. I'm trying to tell you, man. This was heavy. Oh, and then you go to NWA. This was now I ain't talking about NWA like Eazy, but back in the day, NWA where Ric Flair was Nikita Koloff. Okay.
Yeah.
Nikita Koloff. And then, you know what I'm saying? Oh, they had some boys and Sting, Flying Brian Pillman, the Killer Bees.
Pillman. R.I.P. Brian Pillman.
Yeah, shout out to Brian Pillman, man. Killer Bees, and all of these dudes end up killing themselves some crazy ass way, man. Lex Luger with the torture rack, you know what I mean? Man, come on, man. There was a glory era of wrestling with straight up superstars. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Scott Hall, man. Rest in peace. You know, Kevin Nash, the Wolf Pack, Hogan, the Mega Powers, Ultimate Warrior. Oh my God, man! The Brooklyn. Shout out to the Brooklyn Brawler and
when you tune
Barry Horowitz.
When you tune into the WrestleMania this weekend, you know, you might have to give us an insight. If I get a chance, I will tune in as well. Hopefully y'all, we appreciate y'all for sticking out this long. If you made it through this whole thing, because a little bit of a cluster, you know, hey, we just had to roll with it, man. Had a little bit of bullshit going on this weekend and the last, you know, homie's got kids and has to do the spring bake thing and get all the parenting skills out of the way. So the last week and a half was a little bit of craziness. So we'll be back next week, hopefully with the full MLB preview.
Yeah, we should do that.
Yeah, we're going to work on the full MLB preview, dedicate the whole thing to that. So sponsors, anyone that you know or you have a business, let us know. Let's talk. Send us or send them our info. We'll appreciate that. Get a hold of Chris at thisisfunner.com. He'll hook you up with all that information. You know, hey, check out, you know, the podcast on any podcast platform that you listen to. It's all available in those oh my God, I'm fucking all this up. Let's just start all this over.
They're available everywhere.
Don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review the show. Go to any podcast platform that you listen to. It's all available on there. Go to thisfunner.com for our podcast and online content. Grab some merch while you're there from the Funner family. Follow me on Twitter at Stick015. Follow this guy, Anos Big Homie at homie_anonymous. Use the hashtag Sticks of Sports. We are live there all the time. And as always, if you made it through this much of the YouTube channel, subscribe, and you can support us by donating if you'd like to on the YouTube page or our Twitter handles. We need some new equipment so we can get this audio going, brah.
Bitcoin.
Hey, and as homie referenced to before, this is the audio version of Sidney Dean and Billy Hoyle, brah.
Just like that. You know what I mean? Hey, look, you know, I'm not even gonna hold us up, man. I'm not even gonna hold us up. But at the same time, do you know after all of these years, this shows you how washed we are. That the Maury Povich show is finally about to end. They did 30 seasons of this damn thing. This is the godfather of You Are Not the Father. Sticks, you are not the father. This is Funner.
That's fucked up.